shout out to all our worldwide visitors and listeners here today from all over the world. It's a little bit nicer day today than yesterday. Yesterday it was full of rain and just flat out not very nice. Pretty soggy here today, but the sun's out and maybe about 60 degrees, 62 degrees right now with a light breeze and a little overcast. So what do we got going here? It's Tuesday, it's weigh-in day for the Bears, and Ted, he's right up front here. He's eating a few little treats here that one of the staff members gave him. And I'm positive we have a weight on him. Well, I'm reasonably positive we have a weight on him. But he was just really right handy, and it's like, okay, I know it's time for something at 11 o'clock, so we thought we'd get a little weight on him first. I'll just talk a little bit about weighing bears. As I said, we do weigh them for the purpose of managing their diet. Not only what we feed them, but how much we feed them. So we do keep accurate records of that on each of them. We don't always feed them all the same thing, nor the same amount. Just like humans, they're all very different. They have different appetites. They have different metabolisms, different personalities. Of course, they're very different in size as well, and age. Ted's going to get something he hasn't had for a little while. He's going to get an actual log that's got a variety of things in it. Yeah. Heidi's got a treat for Ted, and he's going to follow her for sure. Smells better than what I had, that's for sure. And I'll tell you a little bit about the log. Oh, it's about 2 feet long and maybe diameter, maybe 6-7 inches. It's got some holes drilled in it. Okay. And it looks a little bit more natural, and it's just any old log you might find in the woods. We drilled some holes in it. And Ted is going to have to pick out of the holes the treats that are inside it. Well, there's peanut butter holding the treats inside, so he's got to get through the peanut butter, and I'll talk about a little bit more about that later. We do have Holly Bear, our yearling, out, and I'm going to start to talk quiet because we have both Sharon and Heidi out there. For the PTZ driver, for worldwide observers, go to the far side of the pond, please. So move the camera away from me, away from Ted, straight out where Sharon and Heidi are. If you're PTZ driving right now, our young yearling, Holly Bear, her first day out in the enclosure was last Friday, May 30th. And she has been very hesitant to come down here in the open. If you do come on the deck, or if you do go on the deck, I'd ask you to be very quiet. We've noticed that when cars go by on Highway 169 or trucks or whatever, she runs right back to the woods. She's a little nervous, and we are aware that she spent the night in one of the trees, one of the fallen trees in the woods. She's approximately was at least 20 feet in the woods. That was the last report we had. And for the PTZ driver, even if you zoom all the way towards Sharon, she may blend in a little bit too much for you and you may not be able to see her. Our hope is that we can encourage her in the next few days here to venture further toward the pond. And that's going to be an interesting task because, of course, as a yearling, she wants to have some security and some safety. And as a yearling, they tend to spend a fair amount of time in the woods and in a tree. So she wants to have a tree close to her so she can use it as refuge. The tree that she has selected is actually a fallen tree. The fallen tree has fallen actually away. The low end of the tree is toward the pond. The high end of the tree is actually away from the pond at approximately a 45-degree angle. It's a rather large tree, actually. It must be at least 30 feet in length. I'm going to start speaking quietly. PTZ driver, focus on Sharon and Heidi. And I'm going to go off mic for a while to make it as quiet here as I can. I'm going to go back on mic. PTZ driver. She is at the tree line. This is the first since May 30th. She's going back up the tree, and I believe that's the tree she slept in last night. She did have a breakfast this morning about between 8 and 9 o'clock. They are actually feeding her some nuts. I think some dried cranberries, grapes. What we're seeing here is this bear feels comfortable with these two people, comfortable enough to come out in the open. But if you've ever been here to the North American Bear Center, you know that the falls make noise. She's eating really quite well, from what I can see. But she can also see Ted Bear from where she is. And Ted Bear is in the same place he was before, just working on the log. And Holly Bear is back on her fallen tree. And now she's walking down again. Here she comes. She's back in the open. Ted Bear isn't paying her any mind. Well, at least not at the moment. Ted is done with his log. And Ted, it looks like he's going to mosey up the pond. Ted is at the rock den. They're trying to lead Holly around, and she's not buying it. Holly's coming to the tree line, and Ted is working his way around the pond slowly, and she knows it. Holly Bear knows it, and she ran for the woods. PTZ driver, Ted is at the high falls. Holly must be at least 20 to 30 feet in the woods. Ted will probably look for the food that Holly missed, as well as smell Holly's scent. And Holly is somewhere in the woods. I can no longer see her. We have Honey Bear on the far, far right. We have Ted exactly where Holly Bear was. And I'm going to go off mic and head back down. I made my way from the deck. I'm back in back now. We have changed focus. For the PTZ driver, we're going to attempt to weigh Honey Bear. So our goal here is to move Honey from the food shed area to the to the scale. You might as well see weigh-in time when it's enrichment time. Ted is out of the way, and Honey's wondering where's Ted Bear, and she doesn't have to worry because Ted is at the other side of the pond. Heidi's going to maneuver her Honey to the scale with some food for another weigh-in, while Ted is by the tree line picking up what Holly Bear did not eat. It's a great example of the fact that Honey likes a lot of space between herself and the other bears. So it's an excellent time to weigh her when Ted's quite occupied at the tree line. And of course, Holly Bear is somewhere in the woods. Ted, by the way, I don't think I said this, Ted is a 17-year-old male. And Honey is an 18-year-old female. And yes, Honey is a black bear, but she is a cinnamon phase black bear. And if you notice, her coat is a little lighter on her back than on her sides. That's because that's the undercoat that's going to be shedding throughout the summer. Grabbing a little drink there, and she might check out that log. Although it looks like Ted really cleaned that log up pretty darn well. But I think she's going to take a peek anyhow, see if there's just a smidgen of something left. Right now we have 3 bears out. We have Holly, Honey, and Ted. We're working at integrating Holly into the 2.5-acre enclosure. It's a process. It's not something that happens overnight. And for those of you that have been watching since the last 10 or 15 minutes, I think Holly made a lot of progress today. Although it's true she's not right in front of you, she did come out of the tree line, at least about 5 or 10 feet out from the tree line, with 2 people that she knows. She didn't stay long, but she came out, and that's progress. And now it looks like Honey is going to go over what we call the bridge. She's going to go over the bridge and investigate whatever's going on up there. We don't know, but we have reason to believe Honey may have treed Holly the other day in the same tree that Holly has been gravitating to and actually slept in. We're not really sure, but that would, because it probably happened when we weren't watching, but that would not be uncommon in the wild for a yearling to get treed by a bigger bear. In fact, in the wild, yearlings can spend a considerable amount of time in trees, because yearlings out in the wild have just experienced what we call family breakup. Mothers with cubs that were born in January of 2013, that's basically 18 months ago, they're done with those cubs who are now yearlings. They're done raising them, and they basically just say, I'm done. Time for you to be out on your own. And many times it happens very quickly. They have what we call family breakup, where she actually actively shoos them away from her. And the mother then begins to look for a new mate. And the month of June, typically, late May and June in this area is mating season. So that mother who had a couple cubs in January of 13 is no longer interested in continuing to rear the yearlings. They're out on their own, and the mating process begins. During the mating season, the males, their goal is to mate with as many females as they are able to, and the males tend to not be as concerned about food, because their objective is to find females and worry about food after the mating season. So the males can lose a fair amount of weight during the mating process. Well, Honey's going to go in for a little swim. She sees Ted is occupied, so she's going to take a little dip in the pool. That's kind of reminiscent of what Honey does. She likes to be alone, and I don't recall, it's possible, but I just don't ever recall her being in the pond with another one of the bears. She always waits until they're out of the pond or not interested. If Ted Bear were to come into the pond, she would leave very, very quickly. If you do notice Honey's head, if you can watch her head, she's watching where Ted's going, and she will keep an eye on him and make an exit if he decides to go in the pond. I want to thank you all for coming to the North American Bear Center today. We have enrichment opportunities at 11 in the morning, 1, and at 4 o'clock, and the 11 and 4 o'clock are broadcast worldwide, and you can catch our broadcasts on www.bear.org. Click on View Cameras, and you can hit the PTZ camera, which will show you this enclosure, this pond area, and you can watch all this interaction from wherever you are in the world, and you'll also be able to hear my voice. I want to say thank you to those volunteers that manage the camera to focus in on the bears and where things are happening, as well as monitoring our family-friendly chat page, where people can come in and chat and ask questions and get some answers. We operate the chat page every day until about 9 o'clock at night, Ely time, and now I see Ted looking for a few treats. He might be able to reach it too. I'm going to sign off here and allow you to watch Ted and Honey, and keep on the lookout for Holly Bear. If I go off mic, it'll be quieter here, and she may venture out again. I don't know. It depends upon how confident she is of her surroundings now that she's been out here a couple of days. And as she gains confidence, I'm sure she's going to be in the viewing area here in not too distant time. Again, I'd like to say thank you to everybody who was here today. Your admissions is a day pass, so you can come and go as many times as you want today. There are many sights and to see and do here in the Ely area. It's a great outdoor little community where you can walk trails, go boating, fishing, canoeing, visit the International Wolf Center. It's another great opportunity to learn about some wildlife here in this area. I want to thank you, no matter where your travels take you. Enjoy yourself and have a nice day here in the Ely area. Thank you very much.